really dead? Look at that. What's happening?
Everybody, get back!
Of the Dragonborn. I can't believe we actually killed a dragon.
That was the hairiest fight I've ever been in, and I've been in more than a few. I don't know about this Dragonborn business, but I'm sure glad you're with us. You better get back to Whiterun right away. Jarl Balgruuf will want to know what happened here.
We taught that dragon not to mess with Whiterun, didn't we?
You sure took care of that dragon. Dragonborn or not, that's...
I'm taking command here for the moment. You head back to Whiterun and let the Jarl know what happened.
Look, you've already been told you're not allowed here. Turn around and go back the way you came.
We're causing no trouble. All we ask is to look for her.
I don't care what you're doing. After what happened, you're lucky I don't toss you in jail. Now get lost.
We will be back. This is not over. You there. We're looking for someone in Whiterun. We'll pay good money for information. A woman, a foreigner in these lands. Redguard, like us. She's likely not using her true name. We will pay for any information regarding her location. We are not welcome here in Whiterun, so we will be in Rorikstead if you learn anything. It's none of your concern. All you need to know is that we're paying for information. If that doesn't interest you, feel free to walk away. We're looking for a fugitive who comes from Hammerfell, a Redguard woman. She may be somewhere in this city. If you locate
You there.
find us in Rorikstead.
The Dawn Guard is looking for anyone willing to fight against the growing vampire menace. What do you say? We're vampire hunters. We search out and destroy those blood-sucking scum wherever we find them. You're not paying attention then, like almost everyone else around here. Haven't you heard that the Hall of the Vigilance was destroyed by vampires? They never took the threat seriously, and now they paid the price. The Vigilance mostly hunt down Daedra worshippers, which is why they got torn to pieces when they went up against vampires. That's why our leader, Isran, is re-establishing the Dawn Guard. Real, serious vampire hunters. Ha! Isran's going to like you. Go talk to him at Fort Dawn Guard, southeast of Riften. He'll decide if you're Dawn Guard material. Report to Isran at Fort Dawn Guard, and get moving if you're serious about it. The vampires aren't going to wait around to make their next move.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days? Everyone is obsessed with death. Well met, Traveler. What brings you to Whiterun? Ah, so it's gold you're after then. You need only ask about it. Plenty of folk in Whiterun with too much fat and gold to be bothered doing anything for themselves. Ain't sure if they're taking on new members, but you should talk to the companions. They're over in their hall, Jorbasker. If by work, you mean testing your steel in bloody battle. Aye, that I do. Half all my life. We Battleborns have been here since the beginning, along with the Greymaids. Our family's been close as kin for generations, but Ulfric Stormcloak's uprising has divided us. Now, seems we can scarce look at each other without coming to blows. Petty and foolish, that. They are saying dragons have returned to Skyrim. Now that's a real problem. Ah, the most important question of all, that one. You'll want the bannered mare. See old Hulda. She'll keep you swimming in mead. But mind the bard, Mikael. Poncy little milk drinker, that one. Ah, man gives bards a bad name. We Nords have a long history as warrior poets. I am proud to count myself among them. But Mikael, he sings only for gold and the affections of wenches. He dishonors our traditions. May your sword be sharp, and your tongue sharper.
You tried mercenary work? It might suit you. Sometimes I miss the soldier's life, but when I hold my daughter in my arms, I know I made the right choice. My Sapphire doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. I can teach you a few things. No, I'm not. Looks like we've got something in common then. No, I'm a Red Guard. My family hails from the Imperial Province. But I left home when I was just a lad. Been wandering ever since. If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
Where are these vampires coming from? We need to wipe them out before things get worse. Why, Ismir, you did it. You killed the dragon. There has been talk amongst the guards that you are dragonborn. But such a thing, surely that's not possible.
Lightly armored means light on your feet. Smart.
Good. You're finally here. The Jarl's been waiting for you.
You heard the summons. What else could it mean? The Greybeards.
We were just talking about you. My brother needs a word with you.
So what happened at the watchtower? Was the dragon there? There's no question about that. It was a mighty deed. You've earned a place of honor among the heroes of Whiterun. But there must be more to it than that. Did something strange happen when the dragon died? So it's true. The Greybeards really were summoning you. Masters of the Way of the Voice. They live in seclusion, high on the slopes of the throat of the world. The Dragonborn is said to be uniquely gifted in the voice, the ability to focus your vital essence into a thum, or shout. If you really are Dragonborn, they can teach you how to use your gift.
Didn't you hear the thundering sound as you returned to Whiterun? That was the voice of the Greybeards, summoning you to High Hrothgar. This hasn't happened in centuries, at least. Not since Tibeseptim himself was summoned when he was still Talos of Atmora.
Hrongar, calm yourself. What does any of this Nord nonsense have to do with our friend here? Capable as he may be, I don't see any signs of him being this, Dragonborn.
Nord nonsense? Why, you puffed up ignorant. These are our sacred traditions that go back to the founding of the First Empire.
Hrongar, don't be so hard on Avenici.
I meant no disrespect, of course. It's just that, what do these Greybeards want with him?
That's the Greybeards' business, not ours. Whatever happened when you killed that dragon, it revealed something in you, and the Greybeards heard it. If they think you're Dragonborn, who are we to argue? You'd better get up to High Hrothgar immediately. There's no refusing the summons of the Greybeards. It's a tremendous honor. I envy you, you know, to climb the 7,000 steps again. I made the pilgrimage once. Did you know that? High Hrothgar is a very peaceful place. Very disconnected from the troubles of this world. I wonder that the Greybeards even notice what's going on down here. They haven't seemed to care before. No matter. Go to High Hrothgar. Learn what the Greybeards can teach you. You've done a great service for me and my city, Dragonborn. By my right as Jarl, I name you Thane of Whiterun. It's the greatest honor that's within my power to grant. I assign you Lydia as a personal housecarl, and this weapon from my armory to serve as your badge of office. I'll also notify my guards of your new title. Wouldn't want them to think you're part of the common rabble, now would we? We are honored to have you as Thane of our city, Dragonborn. Back to business, Proventus. We still have a city to defend.
Yes, my lord. I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward. That is an old tale, but well known to those of us who serve in the keep. Long ago, there lived a mighty hero of the Nords, Olaf One-Eye. Olaf did battle with a fearsome dragon named Numenex. The struggle between Olaf and the dragon culminated in a mighty duel atop Mount Anthor, with Olaf the victor. Olaf returned in triumph to Whiterun. By his decree, the city's keep was rebuilt as a prison for Numenex, and so, from that time until this, our great keep has been called Dragon's Reach. Ah, splendid. Our fine city has a proud history, and I'm happy to share what I know. The history of Whiterun begins with Jorvaskr. the Hall of the Companions. For a long time, it was the only building on the mountain. As time passed, a thriving community sprang up around Jorrvaskr, as was common with mead halls. Today, Whiterun is the jewel of Skyrim. I can say without boast that it is the greatest city in all the holds. Well, there are 3 of them, arranged in 3 tiers, as you may have noticed. The Plains District is so named because it's the closest of the 3 to the plains that surround the city. The inn and marketplace are found there. Most of the city's residents live in the Wind District, which is the middle of the 3. Dragon's Reach occupies the highest, which we call the Cloud District. From here, the Jarl can see all that goes on within his city. Near as I can tell, a bunch of ancient Nord hermits who live on top of a mountain. Never heard of them talking to anybody before. If they really do want to talk to you, you'd better go find out what they want. You never know. The only thing I remember is the old story of Tiber Septim being called Dragonborn by the Nords, before they switched sides and joined the Empire. No doubt those graybeards up at High Hrothgar will talk your ear off about it. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend. What is it that you need? Well, in the old tales, the Dragonborn heroes would use the power of their voice to defeat the enemies of Skyrim. Wolfhearth was Dragonborn. Talos, too, the founder of the Empire. Back in the good old days. In the very oldest tales. Back from when there still were dragons in Skyrim. The Dragonborn would slay dragons and steal their power. They're the masters of the way of the voice, of shouting. They live up on top of the throat of the world. If you're really Dragonborn, they'll want to talk to you. In the old stories, they always summon the Dragonborn for training. No doubt he thought it was the only way to make his point, and also because he knew he could. If it's the war you're referring to, I'm on the side of Whiterun. No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty, and perhaps I do. Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. Perhaps this is also true. The day might come when I am forced to draw my sword for one side or the other. But that day has not come yet. With good planning and constant vigilance. Even now, my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack. But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostility? I don't know much. Only the old tales about the ancient heroes who would use the voice to defeat the enemies of Skyrim. They say the emperors used to be Dragonborn, but that all ended when Martin died during the Oblivion Crisis. The Greybeards can tell you much more than I can. They're the masters of the way of the voice, and taught Tiber Septim himself. Well, I only know what I've heard in the old tales. Shouting is an ancient form of magic, the use of one's voice to project their power. If you can shout, you need to go see the Greybeards. They'll know what to do. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to guess them. You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold. It's a decent enchantment, but keep studying. You've only scratched the surface. Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors?
The Jarl has appointed me to be your housecarl. It's an honor to serve you. As my Thane, I'm sworn to your service. I'll guard you and all you own with my life. The Jarl has recognized you as a person of great importance in the Hold, a hero. The title of Thane is an honor, a gift for your service. Guards will know to look the other way if you tell them who you are. Lead the way.
Fear not, come dragon or giant. Watch the skies, traveler.
Disrespect the law and you disrespect...
Riding in the field of our own! You have come. You have come to hear the word of Hello, my friend. If you seek knowledge about mighty Talos, you have most certainly come to the right person. In mortal life, Talos was a Nord, possessed of unmatched tactical skill, limitless wisdom, and the power to see into men's hearts. Talos mastered the power of the voice, and with it he united the lands of men into a great empire. In southern lands, he was known by the name Tiber Septim. Here in Skyrim, we honor him by his proper Nord name. So great was his reign in life. When he ascended to the heavens, he was made Lord of the Divines. If you want to know more, I'm sure you can find any number of tomes on the subject. Because the so-called Emperor is a coward. That's right, I said coward! Oh, yes. He agreed to banish the worship of Talos at the tip of an Aldmeri sword. They called it the White Gold Concordat. Well, I call it blasphemy. A true son of the Empire would never have turned his back on our greatest hero. Not at any price. Well, let me tell you something, friend. Cyrodiil is a long way from here, and in Skyrim, we will never forsake mighty Talos. Let them come. I have no fear, for Talos is my ally, and I am his prophet. His word is upon my lips, his voice in my throat.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. A letter. Not sure who from. He wouldn't say, just that he was a friend of yours. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Long winter. I breathe now in royalty and reshape. I love. Even as man, great Talos cherished. For he saw in us, in each of us.
It's a shame, isn't it?
The future of Tamriel. And there is
Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing, heard only in the idle speech of guards and traders. When the wounded soldiers began to return from battle, I did what I could to help them. As more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer became more important than my duties as a priestess. I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more. Indeed. The temple here in the city is my charge. The goddess's divine blessings have no doubt helped make Whiterun a thriving and prosperous city. After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and fair weather on the harvest days.
your children, your very life.
This is the Gildergreen. It was planted as a seedling in the early years of Whiterun. Disciples of Kynareth could sense something holy in it and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. They built the temple. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days.
Rise up, children of the Empire.
A big dead tree isn't very inspiring if you're coming to worship the divine of wind and rains. Kynareth gives life, and we need a living tree to be her symbol. I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die, they only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the Eldergleam, you couldn't tap it, not with any normal metal. Eldergleam is older than metal, from a time before men or elves. To even affect it, you have to tap into the old magic. You'll have to deal with the Hagravens. I've heard about the weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself. Your spirit is strong. Kynareth's winds will guide your path. It's held in a Hagraven nest called Orphan Rock.
Let me show you the power of Talos Stormcrown, born of the north, where my...
Mister, could you spare a coin? Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart. It's what Brennan said I should do. He's the only one that's been nice to me since Mama. since she died. My aunt and uncle took over our farm and threw me out. Said I wasn't good for anything. I wound up here, but I don't know what to do. I miss her so much. Really? Do you have a place I could live? Oh, well. Thanks anyway, I suppose.
Talos is the true god of man, ascended from flesh to rule the realm of spirit. The very idea is inconceivable to our elder folk.
Ah, Isolde, was it? What brings you to the market?
I'm here to buy food, Nazim. I suppose you don't need to worry about that.
Owning a farm does have its advantages.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda. Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them. Reputation, mostly. A lot of Khajiit turn to smuggling and thievery to get by. A few bad apples spoil the bunch. You know how it is. Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day, I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madran. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future? About the same as everyone else? They're the catfolk of Elsewhere. Great warriors, good traders. Way I hear it, Elsewhere ain't nothing like Skyrim. It's got tropical forests and dusty badlands. It sounds awful. Farewell.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Life's hard enough with all these men propositioning me. But that bard is the worst. You've got no idea. Half the men in Whiterun have proposed to me. Some were even single. They'll never understand. No amount of flowers or honeyed words are going to change my mind. Right now, all that matters is my daughter Mila. No man's going to get between me and my little girl. That bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the bannered mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast. Huh! I can take care of myself. A Whiterun woman learns how to handle a few idiot men early in life. I heard him boasting at the banner. If you want to try, go right ahead. I don't think anything will get through that thick skull of his, though. Some might call this junk. Me, I call them treasures. Remember, fresh fruit and vegetables every day.
My cousin's out fighting dragons, and what do I get? God duty.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds. Oh yes, hunting is my great passion. That's why my brother and I opened a shop to sell hunting supplies. It's the Drunken Huntsman, down by the main gate. He tends the store, and I've got this stall. Good hunting.
Bits and baubles for sale. all crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim. I can tell you're new around here asking a question like that. My husband Eorland tends the Skyforge up at Jorvaskr, the Companion's Mead Hall. Oh, there's no finer smith in the Nine Holds. You should ask him about his work. It's the only subject that'll get him talking. Well, that and maybe those stuck-up, dung-sniffing battle-borns.
Will you have venison anytime soon?
Don't even get me started on that lot.
I'll be sure to bring some.
They put on airs like there's something special. Oh, sure, they've got money, but they ain't got a shred of honor between them. Grey Mane. Now that's a name fills you with pride. We've got roots in Whiterun. We've got history. You take care of yourself now.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days? Everyone is obsessed with death. May your sword be sharp, and your tongue sharper.
Plenty of people here that need Jorland's craftsmanship, my dear. We've never had any reason to deal with those caravans of theirs.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy
Bits
the
and
bannered mare
baubles for
from
sale.
Hulda.
My husband, you should ask him well, that and head up the steps from the market and look to your right. Can't miss it. If you need
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade. I need more experience if I'm going to run an inn someday.
Man? Ha! They can barely tolerate our presence on Earth. Hey, they take away our faith. But tomorrow, what then? Do the elves take your businesses, your children, your very lives?
Looking for my husband, Nazim? Check the Jarl's backside. That's usually where he stuffs himself. Are you married? You look the type. Make sure you treat your wife with the respect she deserves.
I work with my... Did you know there are some fruits that actually grow better in the cold weather?
Fear not. Some dragon or giant will be ready.
I had to. The farmers are charging me double for the produce I sell.
Let me guess. They're saying it's because of this trouble with the stormcloaks?
Exactly. Road patrols were cut in half because the Jarl needed soldiers. Now the bandits are bolder than ever. They've been raiding the farms for food, and supplies are scarcer than ever. Maybe I should sell swords and armor instead.
Maybe. Thought they wouldn't taste as good as a loaf of fresh-baked pumpernickel. Are you still working at the Bannered Mare in the evenings, Othina? And
I'm
why
the commander
shouldn't
of the guard here
Just
in
be-
Whiterun.
What's the matter? You can't stand by the side of a strong Nord woman?
My boys will keep you safe. Don't you worry.
You know what's wrong with Skyrim these days?
I work for Bellathor at the general goods store. Come by Bellathor's shop at the market. I'm sure we've got something you need.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
The security in Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
If it's work you need, how people say there is someone in Riften that can change your face, make you look completely different. Do you believe that? The companions? In Jorvaskr? They're recruiting new members from what I hear. Magic is for the weak. Elves, I mean. They keep to that college in Winterhold. Of course, there is Farengar. He might be the Jarl's wizard, but at least he's a Nord. I should have guessed as much. Your kind sticks to that college, and you'd never think to learn from a Nord like the Jarl's wizard. Need anything else? Just let me know.
Think you can go blade to blade with me? You'd be dead in 6 seconds. The heat of the battle is the fire that forges the strongest blades. It's an old Nord problem. That, and a true Nord never misses a chance to test her worth. You've been talking to those companions?
Oh, yes, Mom.
Too hot-headed, they cried. Weak, pathetic cowards, the lot of them. It wasn't my fault. I told them, over and over, that it was an accident. They wanted me to prove my worth. So they threw me up against a young whelp of a lad, hardly old enough to grow his first chin hairs. I guess they thought a woman wasn't strong enough to hurt him. I didn't mean for him to die. Why would I want that? I just lost control. Good. Chat time's over.
Still here. I am sworn to carry your burdens. You lead, I'll follow.
Foolish old woman. You know nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Nothing. And what of my son, What of
Tired of
Thorald?
bread and stew?
Is he
Had enough
nothing?
of fish and fowl?
So don't
Treat
talk to
yourself
me
and your
about
kin to a
suffering.
choice cut of steak or a tender
Your son
rack of
chose
ribs.
his side, and he chose poorly, and now he's gone. Such is the way of war. The sooner you accept his loss, the better.
I will never accept his death. My son still lives. I feel it in my heart.
Chops
So
and
tell
steaks
me,
fit for a jarl.
Battlebones, where is
See
he?
my selection of the
Where
finest
are you holding my Thorald?
Do you believe this old hag? Holding him? Why, I've got him in my cellar. He's my
The
prisoner.
finest cuts, fresh from the
Face
wilds.
it, coward. Your stupid son is dead. He died a storm-cloaked traitor. And you best keep your mouth shut before you suffer the same.
Come on, Father. There's nothing more to be said here.
All I can think about is my son, my Thorald. They say that he was killed, but I know better. I know my son is alive. I just know it. I can feel it in my heart. You have to believe me. Please visit me at my home. I can tell you the whole story. Please, let's speak privately.
Evgir Onslaught has come at last. The season unending. War.
Greymane or Battleborn? Got stones in your ears? I asked what side you're on. Greymane or Battleborn? New in town, huh? Whiterun's got two clans, both old and both respected. Difference is, the Greymanes turned their backs on the Empire, and we Battleborn stayed loyal. So I'll ask again, Greymane or Battleborn? Then I say, well met, friend. I could tell you were a sharp one the moment I laid eyes on you. More bad blood between the houses. Fralya is convinced our family is somehow at fault for the loss of their son. There's no reasoning with these people anymore. Long live the Empire. You've been a good friend to me. That means something.
You
The
tried mercenary
Stormcloaks
work?
are limit on borrowed time, believe me.
Sometimes I miss the soldier's life. But when I hold my gun.
Nope. Sorry. Nothing.
Old friend, patron of the great clan. I'm as much a Nord as the next man, but I'm no fool. I don't live in the past like the uncivilized pelt-wearing axe-draggers. It's a wonder they don't still live in a cave like those ancestors they keep boasting about. It's true, the Vignar Greymane and his lot are one of Whiterun's oldest and, depending on who you ask, most respected clans. I don't dispute that. But it's one thing to take pride in your lineage, and another to cling blindly to the past. What they call honor and tradition, I call ignorance. Money, you laggard. What else? It always comes down to coin. The Greymanes have deep roots in Whiterun, but so do we. Difference is, we're rich. And Vignar hates it. Oh, and they hate it too. All their big talk of pride and honor. What have they got to show for it? Beggars' rags and stale bread. We've got the same pride, same honor, and we've got wealth. No wonder they envy us. Battleborn is a name out of legend, sung in the songs of old and heard in deeds of valor for 100 generations. For Clan Battleborn they cry in the mead halls, first into the fray and last to quit their ale. We've got honor, wealth, and titles too, aye, and buxom women to warm your bed on a cold Skyrim night. Now, if that don't answer your question, then no words will. Just one more thing the Greymanes want to blame on others. It's not my fault they turned their backs on the Empire, or their mule of a son raised arms against it. And yet, they want to heap the fault on my family's good name? Ha! You watch yourself out there.
Got some... I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. You're... that I do. I've got to, if I hope to be as good as Yorland Greymane. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl, Balgruf the Greater. It's a surprise. Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Evanici? He's the Jarl's steward. He'll know the right time to present it to him. Thanks. Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry. If they're... The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach. That's the fortress there, up on the tall... But you're probably more interested in your Vasker, Mead Hall of the Companions. Their deeds of war and valor are legendary. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything. Have you met my father? He's the steward up at Dragon's Reach.
You tried mercenary work? It might suit you.
Old friend, patron of the great clan Battleborn. A name I'm sure you know well.
cousin's out fighting dragons, and what do I get?
Good. Trust in me, White.
Damn those Grey Mains to oblivion. They want to back the Stormcloaks. They'll get what's coming to them.
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant.
Looking to do some hunting, eh? Avoid Bittleshin Pass. It's southeast of here.
They say there's nothing a Nord woman can't do if she puts her mind to it.
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls, except in the Jarl. And don't you forget. Huh?
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
I serve Jarl Balgruff as steward.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like
The Jarl is, as you can imagine, very busy. Perhaps I can assist you.
It seems this damnable... There's a tranquility in magic, don't you think? It is simply energy
The task
to be
of
harnessed by those
more
and
than
knowledge
you
to do
realize.
so.
The Jarl often asks for my
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword,
College in
so I
Winterhold.
practice with my fists.
I serve Jarl Balgruff as steward.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors.
Father says I'm too young to train with the sword, so I practice with my fists.
The Jarl is, as you can imagine, very busy. I'm kept so busy, I don't get... From Adrian? Ah, this must be that weapon for the Jarl. Poor girl. So eager to prove herself. I'll present it to Bob. Thank you. Please, take these few coins for services rendered. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
Be careful. All this standing around is rubbish. They live in seclusion on the slopes of the throat of the... They are masters of the way of the voice. If you really are Dragonborn, it means you can kill dragons and steal their power. Even speak with a dragon. There hasn't been a Dragonborn seen in the land for centuries. Not since Talos himself walked his 7,000 steps to High Hrothgar.
Please keep your weapons sheathed in the Jarl's
Reconsidered
presence.
my idea.
I am
I
charged
haven't
with
changed
protecting
my
the
mind, if
Jarl
that's
from
what you're
any
asking.
and all
I won't leave Whiterun
powerful men
defenseless,
have many
even for a
enemies,
day.
more so in times of
We sent
strife.
half our guards to aid the legions.
Oh
Just for a
yes,
few days,
there have been
to tip the
attempts on the
scales in
Jarl's
Empire's
life.
favor.
More than one would-be
Companion can
assassin
help
has
protect the
met
city.
his
The
end
Emperor
at the
will be
tip
in our
of my
net.
blade.
Have you lost
Take your pick.
You're short on
Dragons,
guards as it
Stormcloak
is.
assassins, ambitious and unscrupulous
men.
nobles.
The Dark
And
Brotherhood
those
of
are just the
Thieves Guild will have
physical
the run of the
threats.
city.
Assaults on his sanity.
Stormcloaks will be
Every
the
day
least of
he
our
deals
worries.
with obsequious functionaries
The
and
answer is no,
well,
I tell you.
not yet
Stop
anyway.
pestering me with your warmongering.
Balgruff and I share a battle bond. We met as youths and forged our friendship in the fires of war. When he became Jarl, I insisted on serving as his protector. He had no gods. You are curious. Almost dangerously so. I've got
What
my
is it
eyes.
that you need? Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
Be careful.
I might just... If my cleaning gets in your way, just say the word and I'll be off.
Let me... Need a blade?
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade. I need more experience.
And there it is, friend. Out.
Stormcloaks, Imperials, dragons. They no matter to me what I feel.
I work with my mother. Sell fruits and vegetables.
Need something? Adrienne, at her forge. Place is named after her. War Maidens. It's a childhood nickname given by her father. What I hear, she was playing with sword. Anyway, our wares are strong and the price is fair. What else matters? We'll have to have a pint together sometime, you and me.
Nope. Sorry. Nothing.
I've got your back. I am sworn to carry your burdens. Lead on.